Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a brand new episode of 10 to 10, your preload to your daily news. On a daily basis, what we plan to do here for you in 10 to 10 is to pick up one of the hot articles that you'll be facing in the news at 10 o'clock and try to gather your opinions, thoughts, and feedback. Our topic of choice today is the 2011 Arab Springs and revolutions, focusing on the homeland country of Egypt. 2011 was not an ordinary year by all means and standards, especially for the Arabic nations. We have seen quite a lot of revolutions and political uprisings in the majority of these nations, including Tunisia, Libya, Yemen, Bahrain, Syria, and of course, Egypt. It's extremely difficult for a majority of us to believe that the uprising of more than 200 million people has started by one man in despair, without the ability to feed his children or give them the basic needs, burning himself tragically in the country of Tunisia. This has actually happened in the first week of January 2011 and very quickly spread to the heart and soul of the Middle East and the heart and soul of the Arabic world, which was Egypt, the focus of our topic today. The Egyptian revolution has actually started from a very special day, which was the 25th of January 2011. That day was supposed to have been a celebration of the police force in Cairo, Egypt, regarding the fact that majority of the Egyptians at that particular time has disagreed by the methods that were used by the police force. Lots of the groups that were against the police force and against some of the rules of the government had decided to gather together into the Square Revolution, i.e. Tahrir Square, to demonstrate their views peacefully and without violence. It was extremely sad that their peaceful views were met very violently by the police force, using anything from real bullets to rubber bullets to tear gas to water hoses and everything else in between. The injuries were heartbreaking and the deaths were totaling up. The initial request of the protesters was something very simple, and that's just to have their views met, but the requests got more and more difficult, higher and higher as the violence increased, until it came to the point that 1 million people gathered in the Square Revolution, asking the ex-president of Egypt, President Mubarak, to actually step down. This has obviously happened miraculously in the 11th of February 2011. and from that point onwards, the forces or the control of the country has been passed on to a transitional government led by the Egyptian army. The heartbreaking thing is, the Egyptian army used very similar, if not more brutal, types of violence against these peaceful protesters across the past 11 months. Things of rapage, throwing the bodies away, shooting people, killing people, and torturing people. We have all been very, very hopeful that when the president or the new president takes over from June/July 2012, that these situations will change. As Egypt and the Egyptian people eagerly and patiently await the new leader to take his place, we have a few questions that will come across the heart and the soul and the brain. What will the president do? Can he fix the country? Will the brutal police forces and the army forces that have been used be punished for what they've done? And will the good police forces and the good army people be rewarded for their help? All these questions are things that will be coming across our hearts, and we would love to hear your views on this. How do you do that? Facebook.com/10to10 show. Thank you and good night.